Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to Rick Rewind That Radio. Rewind That Radio. You were listening to 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 Rewind That Radio.
Oh. What up, T? We are live.
What up?
Mr. Michael Knight 007. Sunday night chop up. What's up, my man?
Nothing, man. How you been?
Oh, dude, things are good. Had a nice busy week. Ready to just chop it up, sit back and relax, talk about some movies and some games, some toys, like whatever it is. Let's get nerdy. Talk nerdy to me, T. How was your week, bro?
Pretty good, man. Work. Basically, this weekend I just mostly worked, but I had a good time at work. Talked to a couple of my peoples about sports and a couple of video games that's coming out. That new Avengers video game that came out.
Oh yeah, have you played it? I played the beta for a little bit.
I played the beta. I like it, and I want to play more. I might end up buying it. But the reason when I buy it is when the downloadable content for the Black Panther come out.
Oh, when's that? How does that work? I saw that that they're having like season passes and stuff where they're dropping new characters. Are they free? Like, do you have to earn people? Like, how's it gonna work? I don't want to pay like $100. You know, I don't want a Grand Theft Auto 5 situation where I'm spending $50 for every new person. You know,
probably have to end up paying like probably like $30 for each character, probably like they usually do.
Really?
Yeah, you know, they want you to come out your pocket. You get a game, you get 25% of the game, but then you pay $60 for 25% of the game. Then after you pay 25%, pay $60 for 25% of the game, they give you other 5% of the game that you got to pay $50 more for, and they keep on doing that by adding DLC to it. So that's how they get the money from
you, bro.
So just like Destiny, I remember buying Destiny for $60, bro. And then all of a sudden, all these DLC came out. I spent over $230 on a fucking game, bro.
Dude, it's not even funny. Like GTA 5 got me. I had it on Xbox, and I bought a shark card just because you can't. I don't know if no one on the podcast. I imagine everyone has, but if no one's played Grand Theft Auto, like in order to buy, like the economy in the game is so fucked up. Like in order to buy a T-shirt, it's like $30,000 of in-game money, but you get like $25,000 from doing a heist, which is like the hardest mission. So it's like you gotta grind for hours and hours and hours just to buy like a cheap car. So the way they get you is with the shark cards, which is like you pay $100 and you get 8 million Grand Theft Auto cash. And the way they got me, as I'm sure you could imagine, is they dropped a Knight Rider ripoff car.
Oh,
so
wow.
they had like a version of kit, but the shit was like $6 million in the game. So you had to pay $100 to just get it or grind for like a month. So they suckered me in with that. And then every time you want to change the paint job, it costs you, $500,000 in GTA money, which is, $5 real money, I guess. That's why they haven't released how much they've made. Like Grand Theft Auto's made probably $10 billion just that game on downloads.
That's crazy. Because I still see people playing Grand Theft Auto to this day.
Dude, I bought it on PlayStation 2. I bought it on PlayStation 4 because my bro played it on PlayStation. So it's like I had my whole thing set up. I spent hundreds of dollars to get my whole game set up, max out my character, get my Knight Rider car, and then my brother's like, "Oh yeah, but I play on PlayStation 4, so I had to buy it all over again."
Bro.
Don't tell my girl I spent so much money on video games.
Oh, she ain't watching.
Oh no. Oh no.
Crazy, man.
So with the Avengers, have you played? I played the beta a little bit. I wasn't super impressed with it. But like we talked about last week, we played the Division, which is kind of like Destiny in a way, where it's like a looter shooter.
Yeah.
When I got past a certain part in the beta, it seemed like it opened it up like Destiny or something like that, where you add people on the internet and there's up to 4 of you and you do the missions together, kind of like in Division, where you want to do one of like the Lincoln Memorial, you go and fight in Washington, and you add people, like random people, or in our case, people that we know.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be a cool aspect if I like built up whoever I want to be, like say Spider-Man when they drop that. And then you're Black Panther, someone else is Thor, and then you team up. That I think that would be cool, but the beta didn't really get into it.
No, that's when I watched it today, I saw the how it was Kamala Khan, Thor, Iron Man, and Hulk. There was like 4 people playing at once on one screen.
Right.
I thought that was pretty dope, and I was like, oh well. You also have to make sure that everybody is like, I think you have some type of system that you can get like parts of stuff to build your character up. So
yeah, there's a little bit of that in the beta, but it seemed kind of like you didn't have to think about it too much, because there's literally a button that said like equip best gear.
yeah.
And you click the one button and it puts on all the best stuff. So it wasn't like Destiny or Division where you're kind of actively building stuff to synergize with other stuff. I mean, it could be, the full version could be, but the beta didn't have that really. But I think the launch actually it's Kamala Khan, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Black Widow, and I think Ant-Man.
They got Hulk.
Oh, the Hulk. And I think Ant-Man and Vision. No, Ant-Man and Hawkeye maybe are in it as well.
Yeah.
Off the bat, but they weren't in the beta. Something like that.
Yeah. So the game, I think the visuals are beautiful. I like the visuals a lot.
Oh yeah, it look good.
Like the when you do like, I know one fight that was like awesome to me when what's his name? I forgot the Hawk, the little Hawk thing name. Where him and the Hawk was fighting and Kamala Khan. That was pretty cool. The graphics from that is awesome. I thought the game is pretty good. I think like I said, I'm going to probably end up buying it this weekend or something like that and play it, and I'll probably talk about it more and tell everybody how good it is or how bad it is when I see it when I finish playing it. So
yeah, if you buy it, definitely the next Sunday night, give us like your review of it.
yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna get it, I might get it too. We can play it and we'll give the world here our opinion on it, and I will not be kind. So Crystal Harris up in the chat room here, she said you're getting put out. Yeah, GTA is taking all my money, and these games taking all my money just to, they call it, I think, pay to win. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
So
hey,
that's funny.
Thank you for tuning in, Crystal. That's my sister. Love you, boo.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
So let's talk about this Disney thing. You know more about it than me. I know a little bit about it. So talk to people about it.
Oh, maybe I should pull up the article. So the big news this week, it's a lot of crazy shit going on. So John Boyega, who played Finn in the new trilogy, he came out and smoked Disney, dude. I'll try to read. I'll find one of the quotes, because he basically was like, Disney, they set up his whole character in the first movie in Force Awakens, and then where are we? Blah, blah, blah. And then
everybody knows,
he basically forgot about him.
Let him know he's a black guy.
I'm not allowed to say that. The censors are watching. So the black guy got ignored in the second two movies. So basically, that's what he's saying. Is like the first movie they developed his character to be important, and then in the next two movies, the new writers they brought in his words, don't know how to write for black actors. So he smoked them, and he talked about Disney wants you to say I had a good experience on the film, and he's like, I'm not gonna say that until it's true. He goes, they don't know how to write for black actors. They fucked up my character. They put the focus on the two main Kylo Ren and Rey, and ignored the rest of us. He also he called him out for ignoring the Asian actress there in the first movie when they had that little love thing. Ignored her in the next two, and he put out smoke, man. And then you had the girl, I forget her name, the girl that plays Iris on The Flash, as well as Ray Fisher who plays Cyborg in the DC universe, backed him up and said, yeah, they don't know what they're doing, and you said something earlier about it. Maybe you can elaborate how if you have a writer's room of a bunch of white people, they don't know the black experience.
Yeah, it's like you get a white guy who goes to a school and learn African American studies and urban studies, and then they put him in a room with a whole bunch of other white people. Like, well, I know a lot about black people than anybody. So I'm no cursing. So how in the world you gonna tell the world that you're writing for a black person and you're not even living that life as a black person? So you just seen some little TV shows like Good Times, and at that point, Good Times, it was white writers writing for Good Times to show you how they thought about black people.
Really?
So how can you do that? Yeah, it was white writers who wrote for Good Times, and it's crazy, bro. So you think about it. Certain people perceive us or black people a certain way, but why can't you bring in black writers that know what how black people act and how black people are perceived in their eyes? So a lot of white writers, they think that black people are some type of mostly stereotype stuff. So it's basically like, oh, black people love watermelon and chicken. I don't even like watermelon. So I ain't gonna lie about chicken, but I do not like watermelon. But that's how they most perceive a lot of black people. And then you got the guy Bodega, what's his name, Boyega? So his role in the first one, I thought it was gonna be like something like awesome, like okay, he might be the next Jedi, Then when you get to the second story, it's like you don't see him no more.
Yeah, they really built him up. I specifically remember when the first trailers came out for Force Awakens, one of the main things in the trailer was him standing back and lighting up the blue lightsaber. And listen, a black Jedi other than Mace Windu that has like a whole story, dude. Everyone was excited for it. And then you get into the movie and it's like, who is this guy? Like he's a complete like pansy. He's very like scared of everything. He's not tough at all. Like I was like, man, I wanted this guy to be like strong, like, but I was with it. I'm like, okay, so he's gonna like try to find his footing in the first movie, and he's gonna have like that come to character moment. They do like a coming of age thing. Yeah. So he's injured in the first movie and comes back in the second movie with like a vengeance, like Luke did in Return of the Jedi when he just comes in and just starts messing everybody up after he got beat. I thought they were going to do that in the next two movies, and they just kind of like they forgot he was there. They're like, oh yeah, he's going to go run around on another planet. Like we're not even going to mess around.
That was the dumbest decision because they could have made him like for real. If I was a writer, I would have made him like a descendant of Mace Windu, like his like.
Hell
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like he would have been like his great grandson or something like that, and then elaborate off of that, and then he could have been a Jedi with Raya.
Yeah, they do that thing though. Like the Jedi are supposed to be monks and not have like families. That was the whole reason Anakin went to the dark side in that first trilogy.
Yeah,
but there's no reason he couldn't have been like a nephew. Mace Windu could have had a sister that had a kid that was Force sensitive. Yeah. And I know they try not to do obvious stuff like that, but I mean, realistically, they should have.
They should do M. Night Shyamalan with a twist.
It's a twist. What a twist. What they twist. So we're gonna open up to the chat rooms. There's a bunch of people in here. If you guys have any comments you want to talk about that Star Wars, what this kid said about him, I'll actually read the quote if it lets me here. It's and I quote, "What I would say to Disney is do not bring out a black character. Market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side." End quote. And then he goes, like, you guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley. You knew what to do with Adam Driver. You knew what to do with these other people. But when it came to Kelly Marie Tran, when it came to me, John Boyega, Gall. So what do you want me to say? Like, he's smoking them, dude. He's like lighting them on fire, throwing gas on it. He's like, what he told him was, what they want you to say is, I enjoyed being a part of it. It was a great experience. And no. I'll take that deal when it's a great experience. They gave all the nuance to Adam Driver and the nuance to Daisy Ridley. Let's be honest. Daisy knows this. Adam knows this. Everybody knows it. I'm not exposing anything. Smoke. You don't want that smoke.
It's crazy.
Shots fired.
It's just crazy how you have a white person writing for a black guy that they don't know nothing about. So they could have, like I said, they could have made a good story out of that. They could have made a great story.
Yeah, I think aside from the Black Panther franchise, they really don't. I mean, if I try to write a story and you're the main character, I'm not going to get a lot right, just culturally. Like, just like if you were to write for me, you'd probably write a bunch of Italian stereotypes like, oh, Nick wakes up on Sunday morning, his father's making pasta. It's like, you don't know.
Yeah, and then see that from my perspective, I was like, well, he's Italian, so he loves pasta and he might watch Rocky all day.
That's right. All because of that one Eddie Murphy joke. It's all us Italians like Rocky.
Ew.
Yo, let me get some juju beans.
Yeah, but for real. But it's just like it's exactly the same way, man. It's just like, why would you want to have somebody of a different ethnicity to write for somebody who's a star ethnicity? So you got a black guy and you have a white guy writing for the black guy. Well, you wouldn't want a black guy writing for a white guy. So why? That just don't make sense to me.
I mean, I've seen those movies where they make the white guys super corny and like all their voices are like this, and they're like, "Hi guys, I'm here for the party." Yeah. I've seen them. You don't want that.
It's just crazy, bro. And
I think the answer is hiring a more diverse writing staff. Like,
exactly. But another thing I wanted to talk about also, during the time when that first Star Wars came out, the one with Rhea, it was a lot of that Me Too movement stuff going on also. Remember that? So that's why it was like they need more women to be star roles. So that's another reason why she got a bigger role in that movie.
So it's like Hollywood was tossing a coin, like, do we give women a shot, or do we give like ethnicities a shot? Like, what do we do? Let's put them in here, and then we'll just pretend we know what we're talking about with them, and then we'll just ignore them. Like, we did our part.
And see, the thing is, they just show their faces, give them a little bit of face time, little 15 minutes, and then they just push them to the side. But their name and their faces will be all on the posters to get other children of ethnicity and other grown-ups of other ethnicities just like, oh, it's a black guy in there, or it's an Asian guy, Asian girl in there. And we're going to see that, so we're going to support that.
Well, there was a big controversy in the first movie when they did the marketing in Asia. Like, they didn't put John Boyega on the poster because in Asia, if you have someone black in your movie, it doesn't sell as well. So that was a big thing too when that movie came out, because they had how every movie has one of those like artistic drawing looking posters that has every character and their profiles.
Yeah.
He was just, there's 100 people on the poster. He wasn't on it.
That's crazy. That's wild. So I don't understand how did the Black Panther do over there? Because I know Black Panther worldwide made a whole bunch of money.
Well, and that's one of the arguments is like up until Black Panther, they were saying that, you know, black doesn't sell internationally. And then Black Panther comes in and they're like, no, it does. It made over $1 billion, just like any other one of these Avengers movies, but it did it on its own.
Yeah.
So that kind of destroyed all the old expectations of it. Now, of course, now you have Chris Nolan doing his big movie and he has a black lead. So, you know, things are changing, hopefully.
I hope so, man. I just want it to be better. So just everybody have, you know, equal opportunities in this world, because it's a lot of stuff that a lot of black people did a lot of good things in movies and then they were not recognized for. You know, like such as like Denzel Washington. Why Denzel had to be a bad guy to get an Oscar? You understand what I'm saying? Why he had to be crooked?
I mean, he got supporting for Glory. He wasn't crooked in that.
Well, that movie, man, that's a sad ass movie too, man.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Why did he have to be bad to get the what was it? I can't remember the name.
He got an Oscar.
Leading actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
For Training Day, right?
Yep, exactly.
I don't know. That's actually a good question. Why do you think?
The reason why I think that they gave him that, because I think they felt that Denzel he was a very talented actor, but for him to play a role as the stereotypical black male, being all angry and, you know, it's like thuggish. That's what they perceive us as, thugs and stuff like that. And he played that role so well, and they just like, well, he's the best actor in the world, but he had way better acting, way better movies than him acting. You ever seen a movie called The Soldier Story? It's an old movie with Denzel Washington. It's an old movie about Denzel Washington. Great movie about somebody who murdered one of the captains back in like 60s. But it was a great movie. He played a great role in that. Boom. Also, he did play a good role in Glory. He did very well in Glory.
Well, he got best supporting actor in that, but I forget how many years it was between like Sidney Poitier and Denzel before they had a black actor win best male performance, which is the top one. Yeah. I think he there's a lot of movies he was in. Malcolm, Malcolm X movie was incredible. They usually give you Oscars when you're doing a biopic,
but that's why I understand about that.
I think in Man on Fire, he was amazing in Man on Fire.
Wasn't that a remake?
I think so, but yeah, it's the one where like they kidnap the little white girl and then he like dies getting her back. It's like epic. Yeah. I mean, I still viscerally remember some of those scenes. It was such a intense movie. But Denzel's like, yeah, he's done everything, and that to give him that for Training Day. I mean, Training Day was really good, but it's funny. Yeah, maybe they should do a Training Day where it's the other way around, where, you know, it's the white cop and then they're training the new black cop, and the black cop, you know, shuts down the whole operation he's got going on. I liked him in what was that one, Inside Man, when it was Clive Owen robbing the bank.
Yes.
Ooh, I love that movie.
That was a good movie.
Die Hard. That's what that is.
That was a good movie, man. I like that movie. And what's the other movie he played in? It was similar to Will Smith movie about some robots or something.
It's like Book of Eli was.
Book of Eli. Where he was blind. It was post-apocalyptic scenery. But that was good though. That one was good because I would never thought he was blind the whole time.
Oh yeah. Spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler.
If you haven't seen Book of Eli from 2004.
Sorry, guys.
Now you know.
Well, speaking of spoilers, let's talk about this daggone The Boys.
So
y'all know we about to talk about The Boys. It's an Amazon Prime TV show. If you don't want to hear, we about to spoil it up for you. So
yeah, I think we should talk. Well, what's interesting, everyone thought they were going to do what they did last year and drop the whole season. And Amazon, they're like, no, we're gonna do. I think they're gonna do 3 episodes a week. They did 3 episodes this Friday, and they said new episodes every week. So I don't know if they're gonna do 1 or 2.
It'll probably be 1 because look, so I think this is what they're doing. So you know how most of us we end up buying Amazon Prime or getting Amazon Prime, and we just get it for like a product for 30 days. You know, it's because they got a month by month. So you just get it for like 30 days, right? So you're like, well, shit, I'm gonna go ahead and binge watch it. So they probably got an idea like, well, no, we ain't gonna let them binge watch it. So they getting 1 episode a week. We're gonna go to give them the first 3, and then they'll get 1 episode a week. So then basically you gotta keep your subscription to make sure you look at all of them. Because you know how most of us are, we'll just probably buy it for 30 days and then binge watch the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not mad about it. I'll be honest with you. I think one of the most exciting things when it comes to good television is having an episode drop and then having a week to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I like breaking stuff down. Like that's why it's part of the reason why Game of Thrones, I think, was good. Or like anything, you know, like Lost or something. People look forward to the next episode. They like to explore the theories and stuff like that. So in the last couple of years, when they're dropping whole seasons in a day, like that's all gone. You know, you're not doing that. Hold on a second. What do we got here? I don't know what this means. You're gonna have to translate.
Color me machine. So basically, just get it for 30 days, and then just watch everything, and then don't pay for it no more. That's it.
Oh, okay. That's fun. So let's talk about it. So The Boys is based on a graphic novel. I will say I started reading the graphic novel, and it is wildly different.
It's completely
different. I think the only things that are similar are like the kind of the tone, and maybe like the theme of it, like that it's a bad Justice League, and then there's a group of guys that the CIA hired to kind of take them down. Yeah. Other than that, there's like nothing, nothing that's really similar. Like for example, in the first season, like that scene, which I think was one of the greatest scenes in television history, dude. When A-Train runs through his girlfriend, like someone, this is how it was presented to me. I love this stuff. We talk about it. Someone says, Nick, you got to watch The Boys. The opening scene will blow your mind. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I put it on and I'm watching and I'm like, this is cool. She looks familiar. I don't know what she's from. And they're being all lovey-dovey. I'm like, all right. And then all of a sudden it goes slow-mo and her brains come at the camera. And I'm like, I literally did this, dude. I went on the edge of my seat like, what the and I sat back. I went like this. I was like, oh my God. What was that? And that was it. From that second, dude, I was in.
Like, and the messed up part about it, man, when you that part you're talking about, when I saw that part, what got me, I was like, okay, all that blood and guts. I was like, damn. I said, you messed her up. Then when the camera went down and he was holding her arms, and he started screaming. I was like, oh my God, man.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that's when it caught me on that one too. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. Then A-Train stopped and said, oh, I'm sorry. And kept going.
I'm sorry. And then they show him like 20 minutes later, like laughing about it. I'm like, dude, this show is so messed up. I'm gonna love it. And then so I only started reading when something like this comes out, I try not to read ahead just because I did that with Game of Thrones, not to bring it up again because it's been off the air for a while, but the first season of Game of Thrones, there were so many surprises. Like, I don't know if you watch it, but basically the 9th episode of every season, they had some kind of wild, it's like totally flipped the whole show around. Like a certain death that you wouldn't expect or whatever the plot twist might be. It's a twist. So I read after watching the first season, I usually read the books and I was like, you know what? That was such a satisfying surprise in episode 9 that I was like, I'm not going to read ahead because if it's going to be like this every season, I want to be shocked. So I kind of dialed it back from reading the source material, but I did start reading the boys a little bit, and like they, when he runs through the girl, it's a panel, and it's like barely talked about. I mean, it's peppered in like, oh, he killed your girlfriend, but it's not as big as a plot point as it is in the show. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it was just pretty good, man. Like the when when you find out about with Homelander, right? When you find about Homelander and what all the messed up stuff he did, that plane scene, the
Oh
plane
yeah,
scene, bro, the plane scene is like scary. Yeah, and like when he got in the plane and they were supposed to he supposed to save. She said, "Well, why can't you just help them? Just help them." He was like, "Who? How can I help them? You know what? Blank them."
see ya.
She was, he was like, "Everybody get back in that seat." And then they was, "So you're not going to help us? Just get back in your seat." And I thought he was going to kill everybody before he even jumped off the plane. But in the comic book, he killed everybody on the plane.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
bye. So let me field this. Sean Carter, not Jay-Z, the other one, is up on here. Sean saying, what do you think the Sun's gonna do? I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe the Sun, it hasn't been established that he has all of Homelander's powers. I found it interesting that Homelander mentioned multiple times that, let me get this out of my face. That he mentioned multiple times that he developed his powers earlier. I think that might be important because usually in shows when they repeat something, they try to turn it into a plot point. And I think it's different where either the kid, they didn't try it before, but I don't see how he could be 10 years old and not have, fallen off a skateboard and scraped his knee and not have been like, oh, it's weird that I'm not hurt. But I don't know. Maybe he's gonna be more powerful. Maybe he's gonna kill Homelander. I mean, I think that would be interesting if Homelander's off the deep end. That is, he comes and maybe gets in another fight with Butcher.
Yeah.
And then he goes to try to kill Rebecca, and the kid's like, nah. And then maybe the kid takes out Homelander. I don't know. I think it's an interesting question, but that's part of the fun. Like, we'll find out. Maybe next week we'll find out a little bit more.
But I think what the Sun's going to do, he's going to end up being better than Homelander. And he probably, if Homelander touched his mom one more time, because he already said he was going to, the little boy started cursing. The little boy never cursed anything. And then he went crazy when the Homelander tried to touch his mom. So and from that point, I thought the little boy was way more powerful than Homelander, because when he pushed Homelander failed. Now, you never seen Homelander fall at all during the times of anything. He never failed. He never got hurt. Anything. It looked like that boy can hurt.
Yeah, I don't think he expected the kid to push him like that. But I think I think that's kind of what I was saying was, Homelander mentioned a couple of times that his powers developed earlier. So yeah. I think maybe the fact that the kid is showing power now, maybe to tie it in, the kid's going to be more powerful and drop him, because I just think the fact that he mentioned it before a couple of times shows that they're going to use it as a plot point. Yeah. So I think you're right. I think by the end of the season, the kid's going to fry Homelander. And then, he's most likely gonna have he's gonna be real messed up from it. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna have to figure out how to get this kid under control so he's not turned into, what was that movie? What was the bad Superman movie there? Red Band or something?
Brightburn. Brightburn.
Yeah, when it's like bad Superman kid.
Yeah, that movie was crazy. I didn't know what to think about that movie, man. I was just upset about that. I like nobody could hurt that kid at all.
Nope. So here's a theory. I don't know if Sean's read the comics. I read a little bit about it, so I won't spoil anything. But he says Black Noir. I ain't doing it. I won't do it. No twist from me. So Black Noir is going to be a big part soon. I think you're right. I mean, they've been peppering him in, but they haven't really given him any airtime yet. I almost thought in the most recent episode that Homelander was just going to kill the Deep and just get it over with, because I think his story is kind of at the end. Like I don't think it's very interesting, and I think they kind of pushed the boundary on it. Just cut his head off already, would you?
Bro, but I liked how they have Oswald Patton being his gills. That was funny. His whole voice thing with him being his Oswald Patton being his gills, and he was talking when they was tripping when he had drank the mushrooms.
Yeah, I smoked way too much weed when that happened. I was I was already a little buzzed, and then I hear Patton Oswalt talking out of this dude's gills. I'm like, am I really hearing this right now? Like this is wild.
I was laughing so hard, man. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, yo, come on now. Oswald Patton is in there. And they started singing the song together. I couldn't stop laughing, man.
Dude, that was, you know what? Actually, when I was watching that, I got a lot of respect for that actor, because he was like singing that song and like breaking down crying. Like it was a really, really strong acting scene. And I was like, man, this kid can actually act, but also get him off the show because I'm bored as shit with him. But I was like, man, yeah, that was funny when they were saying, "You are so beautiful."
I swear, I thought they was gonna kill him, because when spoiler alert. So when on episode 3, when they ran, when their whale was in the middle of the ocean and he was standing on top of it, and they took the boat and ran through him. I said, "Oh Lord!" I was like, "Man."
Dude, that was wild. That's I like to use the word wild sometimes, and that was wild. And then to make the Pinocchio joke, dude, he said Pinocchio was gonna stick around a little while or something, and they walked like that. You got that. Butcher. I love Butcher, man. He's awesome. That's funny. So, what do you think's gonna happen this season? Like, you got people like Stormfront. It's a new character. She's clearly not putting up with anyone's BS.
Yeah.
And she's just she went through that apartment complex and just killed everybody on the way up.
Bro.
And then on the TV, on the report on the TV, it said that there were 59 people killed, and it was all her.
Yeah.
So what do you think's gonna happen? And there's 7 episodes left, right?
Yeah.
What do you think her storyline is gonna be?
So basically, after all that stuff happened in the apartment, I think that she's gonna end up saying that the terrorists did it. So then they're trying to get into the military anyway. So I believe that last terrorist, the girl's brother. So, that part on the top of the rooftop with her when she broke his arms and just started laughing, and she was like, "I want to see your eyes and let you see your life go away." Oh, that was crazy. And so I believe that my fault, the part that when she tells them that the terrorists probably killed everybody anyway, they're going to probably end up getting Butcher and them in trouble, saying they was helping the terrorists. So if they put Butcher in there and the rest of the guys, man, I'm telling you, they got to find a way. If they're gonna use somebody got to use Compound V to take on the rest of those guys. So I believe that that girl, she's gonna be a problem, because at first, and when you first meet her, she's an asshole. She's not afraid of Homelander. She's talking back to Homelander like everybody else is afraid of Homelander, but she talked back to him. And I believe that she's gonna be a problem. She is gonna be a big problem in Homelander's ass. So
I think you're right. I mean, the way she reacted, the way he reacts to her whenever she like starts talking to people or kind of like punks him, like he's gonna fall out. I wonder. I don't know if she's more powerful. I didn't read the comics enough to know about that original character, but I
Uh-huh.
do remember them saying that she I think she's a guy in the comics, but I think she's super powerful or something, like on the level of Homelander. It's
Yeah.
almost like a Black Adam versus Superman kind of idea.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I think she's gonna be a real pain in the ass.
She was a pain in the ass when they was doing the interviews. Remember when they was, but her and Starlight was doing the interviews, and she was being real mean to everybody. Everybody who said something, she was just being an a-hole to them. So I think she's going to be a problem.
All right.
But also, I just want to say this before we start something else. But Black Noir, he is going to be. I think that the story with him is going to be a main plot point, because when the first season came on, you see Black Noir was going to kill that guy, and he cut his head off at the beginning. So when he cut his head off at the beginning, you know, whatever, I think he was some kind of Arabic superhero, and he had burnt Black Noir face half off, but we couldn't see nothing the rest of his face. But the only thing you saw with his face on this side was burnt up, and his chest was burnt up. So we still didn't see Noir face. So then you'll see the Arabic guy's head, and then all of a sudden you'll see his mouth and his eyes just open up like this, but Black Noir is carrying his head. And then they cut to the scene about how that Black Noir was on a secret mission to stop the terrorists. So that's why I said Black Noir gonna have he got something to do with it. And I know that I don't want to spoil it for anybody else, but it's gonna be like a big surprise when everybody find out who Black Noir is. I think that's gonna be the biggest plot point, and I think a lot of people gonna look at it and like, no, how could that be? But it's gonna be a pretty good plot point, and I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So let's we talked about a couple of things already. What about the new movie that just came out, Chris Nolan Tenet? This was big. Everybody was waiting for this thing. I don't know much about it. I think the only thing I noticed on the trailers is it's some kind of gimmick where time goes backwards or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think about it? Are you gonna see it?
I'm going to see it probably tomorrow. I want to see
it in the theater.
No, I'm going to the movies. We'll wear a mask. Yeah, I got.
Yeah, someone told me like I can go to the theater, and I was like, well, if I have to wear a mask, how am I supposed to eat popcorn? They're like, well, you can take it off if you're eating popcorn. I'm like, oh, good. So I'll just have it off the whole movie. And they're like, well, you're gonna eat popcorn the whole movie? I'm like, yeah, I'll crush a large popcorn. I'll go get a refill, especially if it's a Chris Nolan movie and it's like 3 hours long. T froze up over.
Hello, can y'all hear me? See me still? I'm still there.
Yeah, there you are. Yeah, but I'm interested to see it because I really like. I mean, we were talking about Denzel, the main character, John. What's his middle name there? John Washington. He's Denzel's kid, the main character there.
Yeah.
And John. I think it's John David. John. I don't know.
I'm looking up now.
We're not professionals. We don't.
Anybody out there know the tennis star?
I think it's John Michael Washington. John David Washington. That sounds
okay.
But yeah, it's Denzel's kid. He was on is it Ballers with The Rock on HBO?
Yep.
He's pretty impressive. He's got a good look. Actually, he's my fan cast to replace Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther. I think I don't know if he's stoic enough, but I think what Disney will do is they'll spin it like, oh, Denzel paid for Chadwick's his
school and stuff.
Theater abroad, and now we're gonna have his son take over the mantle. I don't know. If he's not Black Panther, I think he's gonna be in the MCU soon though.
I hope
that's
so.
Somebody.
That's somebody. He could be what? Oh man, it's not even a lot of black characters no more, man. So I don't think I know it's like third-rate black characters he could be. So, or they might change a white character into a black character. So I don't know if
Ooh,
you ever heard
let's
of
go
Nix.
down that rabbit hole.
Man,
What white character that hasn't been in the MCU would you turn into a black character? I think a black Wolverine would be cool. Though. That's just me.
they'll have so many daggone bloggers out here going crazy. Just
Oh
like
yeah.
just for instance, I give you a prime example. When what's his name? Um Dang, I forgot his name, but he played Johnny Storm in that
Chris Evans.
in the worst
Oh,
Fantastic
Michael
Four.
B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan when he played Johnny Storm.
Well,
Man,
he's already Killmonger. I don't think they'll use him again.
huh?
He's already Killmonger. I don't think they'll use him again.
No, I'm just saying how that the internet went crazy and didn't want him to be Johnny Storm. I'm just basing off of that. Like if you change a white character to a black character, or like same vice versa, when black people you turn a black person into a white character, or Asian character into a white character, or white to Asian, people are going to go on the internet and they're going to be like, oh no, this is not right. This is not right. Why in the world are you changing him? This is how he's supposed to be, or that's how the person is supposed to be. That's why I said let's leave it alone. But
what are your thoughts on that? Do you find it do you feel like it's pandering when they do that, or do you know if they make Johnny Storm a black character all of a sudden when he's been a white dude since 1940? Like I feel like they should just get black writers and have black writers make new black characters.
Yeah, and same thing for like I know I'm about to go off the limb on this one, but so same as like LGBTQ the community, like they changed like for instance when they changed Colossus and Colossus was gay. You remember that? Yeah. So I just didn't understand why would they change Colossus? They're like a manly man like that, and then they could have just wrote for like this board like they usually do. They just bring up they make other characters.
Right.
So
they could really just do there's it's a multiverse. They've already established it. So they can if they wanna make like a LGBTQ character or like a black character like oh here we go. Sean mentioned Nick Fury. Yeah. Case in point. Nick Fury, they turned him into a black guy based off Samuel L. Jackson on a reboot of Spider-Man in like 2002 called Ultimate Spider-Man, which was a different universe than the original Spider-Man. So it was still Peter Parker, but the Nick Fury in that universe was black guy based on Nick Fury. Yeah. The same universe that spawned Miles Morales in like 2006, because in that Ultimate Universe they killed Spider-Man and Miles took over, and now he's one of the most popular characters. And he had like that Spider-Verse movie, which is incredible. Yep. So they can do something like that. I think with the Colossus thing, like I think it was a little on the nose, because the whole character for Colossus is that he's like this big, strong, powerful guy, and then he's also an artist and he's very sensitive and stuff. And I feel like that was almost kind of pandering, like I don't know, it's really a tough subject to talk about, but it's like they made him a gay character, but they didn't have to. Like they could have just did an alternate version of him or something. And it's just it's weird how they did it, because it's like some of the stuff people will associate some of the things he does with a gay person anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like being very sensitive, and you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with it. I think they should just create new characters or have alternate versions, so it's not pandering. Like I feel like if you pander, you fail. Yeah.
So they do like soap operas, you know what I'm saying? They had an affair with somebody and all of a sudden they had a kid, you know? Because most soap operas always do that. So, and you can always,
I think everyone should be represented. I just think that there's a lot of characters that if you just change them for no reason, it's
Yeah.
you're not doing anyone a favor but making yourself feel better. I'm
Yep.
saying that as a white man, you know. The white straight dude in the writer's room, that's all they're doing. So I don't know. But yeah, like here we go, Crystal. She
Yep.
agrees. Make new black characters. I mean, they did it with Camilla Khan. She's been out for 10 years. She's the new Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
She's of Middle Eastern descent, I believe. Awesome
Yes,
character.
Yep.
Stand alone. You know, she's not, they didn't take like Carol Danvers and make her ethnic. You know what I'm saying? They made a new character and now she's one of the headliners in this video game. So they should do that, man. I think with minor characters, it doesn't matter as much. But I think with the marquee characters, it's you can't make Clark Kent a black guy. He's been like a white dude since 1935.
Yeah.
So you can make
a new
black Superman.
Then you know the new 52, they did make a black Superman though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's not out of the realm of storytelling, even in that universe, to just say, oh, there was a Kryptonian dude that was black and he's someone else. And he can have this, you know what I'm saying?
But
so I just
like you were
that's
saying,
my opinion.
dimensions. Yeah. So it's like you can just always change people in different dimensions. So that's what happened because that black Superman was, I think he was, I forgot his name, but I think he might have was Clark Kent, but he was a president, but he was also Superman.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was just like the fact that he was a black guy, and that black guy was just in a different dimension. So you know they got, it's like a whole bunch of dimensions in the new 52 and stuff, and so everything, a lot of stuff changed. So that's why it's I understand how you can just change other people stuff, but I still say the fact still remains they should make other characters because there's so many characters. You can make other characters and add to that roster of characters and make it better for like kids. Like it's just like it's just like certain kids of certain descent, certain ethnicities, they want to have a superhero too. You understand what I'm saying? So it's basically like I want to buy this comic, but I want to see a person that look like me. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is this, and then you make you feel good about yourself. You be like, oh, this is my superhero right here. I want to be him for Halloween, or I want to be this for Halloween. Like when the little black kids, when all of us went to see Black Panther, who in the world didn't ever do for Wakanda like this? Who never did this? We always doing this. All the black people was doing it, and that was just like the greatest thing in the world, man. Just think about it. It's just the best. You see something about somebody that you can relate to.
Yeah, I think it's important to relate to things. And that, I mean, for me, growing up, the reason I relate to Spider-Man, why he's my favorite character, is because I was a little nerdy kid from New York.
See,
like I was into science, and I had glasses, and I was skinny, and I get picked on all the time. And so like I saw, oh wait, this dude can be, he's one of the most powerful people in all of comics, and no one knows it because they just pick on him. Like, but that was me. I could see myself on the pages. So I understand that. And I think, I don't know if we might have mentioned it last week, but it's the same reason like I'm not a huge Wonder Woman fan, because she's a woman, and a lot of her character traits and that stuff, I don't relate to it because I'm not a woman. It's like, it's just that easy. It's just that simple, you know? So I get it. And I'm really glad that they're making characters now. And even I think Netflix deserves a little kudos because they're putting out a lot of shows that are black run. And what's the one with the little kid there? Maybe Sean knows up in the chat here. The little kid that's got superpowers.
Michael B. Jordan was his father or something.
What is it?
Michael B. Jordan was his father.
Right. Yeah. So like they're it's moving in the right direction, I think. I'm super excited for the next couple of years though, because I think with the inclusion of the X-Men in the MCU, I think they're gonna do a lot of ethnicity swapping and stuff like that in a good way.
Yeah,
because they can bring in a lot of X-Men characters that are minor characters that no one's really gonna care. Like, you know, Nick Fury was kind of a minor character. Yeah. it didn't upset anybody, you know. But also fuck everybody. Like if they're upset, whatever. Go
Yeah.
away. Don't buy a ticket. So I'm interested. I think the X-Men are going to be wild. What do you think? What do you think they have planned for the X-Men? We'll open it up to the chat too. Like, how do you think they're going to bring them in? What do you think the angle is going to be? This is something that I've had a lot of discussions about that I'm very interested in because the X-Men, like that 90s cartoon, was it. Ooh, look at this guy. Here's interesting.
Oh, bro.
Damien dropping in. Let's see Night Thrasher.
Hey, I want to say something real quick. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
This guy right here is a good friend of mine, right? And it's funny he brought that up because he knew that Night Thrasher was my favorite comic book character. It's a black guy.
I know what it is.
Yeah. He's having a skateboard.
And you see, it was, come on.
He had a skateboard on his back, and he was rich, and he was just kind of like he was like a that's crazy.
Didn't he have like Daredevil Billy clubs?
Yeah.
Helmet.
Yep. Yeah.
Night Thrasher, bro.
Bro, I have Night Thrasher #1 comic book too. I still have that.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
I think they should make Moon Knight black.
Bro, but that's
because no one even knows what he looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. Everybody he took his mask off. He's a crazy white dude.
Yeah, he's Batman, but why not? Why you can? That's a character that you can change ethnicity, and no one's really gonna give a shit.
True.
And it'd be cool to see a really good actor, like a black guy, as long as they have black writers, because you don't want them writing like it's a multi-personality white dude. Wow. Yeah. Oh, Sean answered the question. It's Raising Dion on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Here we go. Crystal has a great comment. Fearless is a great black animation. My son loves it, and it's important for him to see kids like him depicted.
Yes, it is.
Very true. Very true.
That's why I said this. If we have different comic book characters for different ethnicities, and it makes the kids relate to them, and it feels good just to have somebody see that looks like you on the screen. That's a superhero. Because not all ethnicities are bad at all. It's like because it's like sometimes when they put in comic books, they put like if you see it'll be like black people against white people and like stuff like that. But you got other ethnicities that are evil, and other ethnicities are good. You know, it's best to see kids just see somebody as themselves, and it makes them feel good. And I love to see stuff like that.
Yeah, every little kid needs and deserves to be represented. Because I mean, we're pushing 40 here, bro, and we're talking about fucking comic books on a Sunday night. So these things are influential. Sorry if I'm swearing. I know you don't like that, but these are influential, and you know the kids are gonna watch these and read comics. Like I got my first comic, I think I was 9. We came actually. My dad took us on vacation down to Florida to go to Disneyland. He got like a big tax return, and you know what I don't know if he's still paying him back for it, but but he's like, we're going to Disneyland, but we didn't we did the parks and stuff, but in the hotel room he'd stick us in the arcade that had the Simpsons and the X-Men game.
Oh wow.
We go to the 7-Eleven and they had a comic book rack, and he's like, get whatever you want. You know what I mean? Because he wanted to go out and party, whatever he was doing. So my brother and I, we went up the list. We grabbed like one from everything. We got like 10 books each. You know, they were $1 at the time. It's, you're not talking like a lot of money in 1991, 1990. And that was it, dude. After that, ooh, I was like every week I did my paper route. I did my chores. I delivered newspapers. That's how old we are. And I would take the $20 I'd make a week doing that every day, and I'd go to the comic book store. Dad, it's Thursday or Tuesday, new releases. Let's go. And that was it. I was in. So it's and I love it, and you love it, and I think it's important that you know it should be open up to everybody. It shouldn't be a white thing. I think that's stupid. So
Yeah, I just like I. Speaking of that, man, I remember me and my friend Dame used to go every day. I think every Tuesday or every we. I just know we used to ride our bikes or walk up to movie time all the time. Just go get kung fu movies and comic books and food. Sometimes I just remembered all that. That just brought back some memories, man. I think we watched so many kung fu movies and read so many daggone comic books. Just like we both of us are basically encyclopedias of both. So it was them some good times, man. We get our little checks from working at a grocery store. We used to be baggers at a grocery store, get our little checks, and I can't forget about this, eating free pudding cake every time we go to work, learning how to mop the floors, and man, we had a good time, man. Comic books. We had a good time, man. And it was just like we read comic books and watched kung fu movies. We was all there was just me and him, man, just chilling. We knew what we just like encyclopedias of all that, man. It was just fun, man. You just brought me back. You just brought me back, man.
hey, sometimes I say something good.
Oh, look what John said. Shia LaBeouf as Moon Knight.
That's the rumor. I think that would be incredible, but we'll see. He's actually proven himself in the last couple of years that he has a lot of range. I think because he's done a couple of movies where he's been really emotionally vulnerable. The one where he played his father that he wrote and directed or whatever. And then the other one, Peanut Butter Falcon, where he was kind of a vagabond. And he had like the kid with Down syndrome, and he like stole him and took him on a mission, like this life journey. It's kind of like the movies we used to watch as a kid, where they would go on like Goonies or something. We'd go on an adventure. So it was a really, really sweet movie. Yeah.
You know who else that I would love to see? But I know this. I'm gonna sound old as hell, man. So who I thought would be a great pick for Moon Knight?
Who's that?
During the time of the Lethal Weapon days, Mel Gibson.
You think Mel Gibson would have been a good Moon Knight?
Oh man, because how crazy he would act, man, when he was doing Lethal Weapon, the first two Lethal Weapons, how crazy he was. I thought he would be in a perfect Wolverine and then a perfect Moon Knight. Either one of those, he could have played one of those. But Hugh Jackman is you can't do that. Hugh Jackman is the Wolverine.
Yeah, I think he really kind of made it his own, especially because he stuck with it so long. So they did their thing, and then once he had control of it, where everyone wants him to be there, he's like, "They're gonna do it like this." He kind of switched up.
But I loved how they put him in all the movies. It was dope how when they first had put it was X-Men whatever, not the first X-Men, it was the next one. What was it? I don't even remember the name of it. When they had Rogue and all of them, but
Are you talking about when he did the cameo?
Yeah, the first class. Yes. Yeah, I loved it, man.
That was cool.
That was pretty cool. That's why I said I thought that was gonna be that, like, he could continue to keep on doing that. But like I said, I just love his cameos and stuff like that. I think he's like I said, he's a pretty good actor, and I would like to see. I know he's getting older, and I know they're gonna try to probably put him off or something else. I would love him to continue to be Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, I think there might be kind of like a Michael Keaton Batman thing, where Michael Keaton's coming back in his older age to play an older version. So maybe there's something the MCU can come up with where he comes in and he plays like an older version of Wolverine. But he was pretty adamant about like Logan was his like swan song, like he was over it. So yeah, actually I think this is a really cool topic. I think we should do for next week's Sunday Night Chop Up.
Yes, sir.
We'll put this out to the chat too. Anyone that wants to jump on next week, let's do our 80s fan cast for the X-Men. So I think the X-Men we should use is just use the one from the cartoon. we use the main 7. So we got to have our Jean, Cyclops, Wolverine, Gambit, Rogue, Professor X,
Beast.
Beast. That's a good one. Who I think that's really the main.
Yeah, that's it.
And Storm.
And don't forget Jubilee.
And Jubilee. My bad. All right, so let's put it out for those 8-9 people. Let's come up with our fan cast for an 80s actor, actresses, X-Men 90s cartoon style, and that'll be one of our things next week we talk about. Hopefully everybody up in the chat, Damien, Sean, who else we got up in here? Like, let me scroll. Crystal,
just shout out to everybody.
Shane, if you guys want to pop in next week with your ideas, you could drop them in the chat. Hey, let's do it. Let's chop it up. That sounds good.
Yep, I appreciate everybody who came out and and chopped up with us tonight. I would like to send a shout out to Crystal Harris, Shane Sims, Sean Carter. Let me make sure I got everybody's name in here. Sorry about that, Almond. Damian Underdew, I appreciate you. Let me see. John Carter, I appreciate all of y'all coming in tonight and just, chopping up with me and Nix, man. I really do appreciate y'all. Hopefully see y'all next week, Sunday, and we can, chop up some more. I appreciate all of y'all again. Love y'all, and I appreciate y'all, and good night.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us. I hope you guys had a good time. Come back next week. This is a good topic. I'm excited to look into it and figure it out. So, hey, that's the Sunday Night Chop Up. Rewind That Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now